4 of the Tier 2 OBF1 Championship. We're at Imola for round 4, and it is our first proper sprint race in the F1 game. So it's going to be an interesting race, especially trying to see how these drivers can handle the sprint race. Obviously, we don't want to see no stupid moves that could cause accidents. Right, we can ready up everyone and we can get this race underway. So it's going to be a one-shot format tonight. Due to the sprint race and race, we will be running a one-shot qualifying, which brings a little bit more thrill to the race, I suppose. And drivers have to get their lap done proper. It's going to be interesting to see who can handle that and who can set a... Right, CDM hasn't actually chosen his car, so hopefully he gets put in the right car. Idiot. Yeah, CDM, I did just call you an idiot. Alright, stream is live. We are live. We are ready for the one-shot quali. And... I can just adjust CDM's seat anyway. Alright, so we are just waiting for all the drivers to put on their setups. It was a great race out last time at Australia. I say great race. The drivers only had half points last time out at Australia due to the fact there were so many safety cars. Hopefully we don't see that again today. The skies are looking a bit murky. We'll ride on board with whoever's riding in first, which is currently Hassel. It's going to be interesting to see. Let me just turn my volume down. Going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. It is currently Snitsy. Now it's Hassel again through turn 2. A lot of position changes to the midfield. Obviously, drivers trying to take it as easy as possible because there's not the maximum amount of grip you would want on a one-shot qualifying. Neil Moser, as we come through to the end of Sector 1, is currently in P1, and Snitsy takes it off him again. As we come up to the double left-hander of this corner, and then the tricky double right. Anyone going to invalidate on this corner? Snitsy very close to invalidating, but he doesn't. He's lost a lot of time, though, and that leaves James Ney. CDM parked in a dangerous location, so he's just put himself out of qualifying. He will be starting at the back of the grid for the sprint race. Hassel back on top of the standings at the minute. Pistol Racing retired from the session. He must have had an accident. As we come across the final corner now, Hassel down to the line. Looks like he's going to take pole position. Hassel does, followed by Kenner, James Ney in 3rd, Invader 4th, Hawkpie 5th, Mank 6th, Jason in 7th, Genserino 8th, Mohammed Gunnar in 9th, Mosh in 10th, Team Red in 11th. A lot of invalidated times or disqualifications going on in qualifying or DNFs. Obviously drivers finding them hard to negotiate. What car is CDM actually in? Can we find out? So as I was saying, Mohammed Gunnar 9th, Mosh 10th, Team Red 11th, Always Grinding 12th, King James 13th, Neil Morser 14th, Snitsy 15th, Ahmed Shaban 16th, and CDM is in the McLaren, which is the wrong car, but I can change it on the app. So McLaren won't get any points from CDM tonight, and we got Pistol Racing in last place. So that is your starting grid for OBF1 Tier 2 Sprint Race. And then we'll have the final stand-ins decided via the sprint. Right. Let's see while this is on if I can quickly get... where is it? Where's YouTube? There. Turn the volume down because we don't want to hear myself. So it just looks like it's going to be a dry race for the sprint race as well. Let's just go for share. Copy link. Close that. Is Discord open on my phone? Right, so we have 5 red lights and away we go. Driver's got to be very careful. Apparently there's going to be stone cold tyres. Hassel gets off to a great start though. And Kenner, well, he looks slack on the start. He's very slow. There's a McLaren. There's 2 cars in the wall. There's a Mercedes. There's Team Red. I think it was Mohammed Gunnar caught up in that as well. It was. Not really sure what happened there. But CDM has been disqualified. CDM's just not moving. So I don't know what CDM is playing at here. That's quite strange, but we have got a safety car by the looks of it. Yeah, we have a safety car. That was quite a disappointing start, really. So we're probably going to have some words in the Discord later. So while I'm doing that, let me just quickly go for the stream in right, so yeah. So we've got Team Red who has been taken out of this race, and CDM. Mohammed Gunnar's lost a wing. This safety car is really going to help him get back into the race. It's going to be interesting to note because I think our winner last time out was James Ney, currently sitting in P3. Second place was Genserino, who is currently right down the order by the looks of it. Genserino currently sitting down in P14, and he was our winner last time round. CDM just having a nightmare, really. I don't really understand what he's doing. As you can see, we got the McLaren out of Mohammed coming out of the pits on soft tyres. Interesting to note, he's got to go 10 laps. Well, it'll be 9 laps. On these soft tyres, he'll be really slow towards the end. Probably better to get this race off to a rolling start by the looks of it. Obviously, we haven't got a formation lap because of the glitch that we've experienced the last twice we've tried formation lap. That's why we are not running it. but that was an abysmal of a start for Tier 2. So hopefully we get the safety car in this lap. By the time Hassel slows up the rest of the pack, Mohammed would have caught up, but I don't think it is actually coming in. So far, we'll talk about the season so far. We're on our 4th round now. We've had 3 rounds: Bahrain, Jeddah and Australia. It was a great race out in Bahrain and Jeddah. Australia wasn't the best of races we've had, but you know, it happens. Australia's a pretty hard track for traction, and a few of these drivers got caught out by that traction, as Neil Moser has decided to pit under the safety car as well. It's a bit of a late call, but he is going on to a new fresh set of rubber, some fresh softs.
What happened? MLG face with rolling eyes.
What happened was I seen a Mercedes spiraling out of control on the start-finish straight on the race start on lap 1, and took himself out. Mohammed got caught up in that, lost a wing, but because of Neil Moser's pit stop, he is now up to 15th. And hopefully we will be underway with green flag racing soon, Callum. That is what happened. What an interesting start. That's all I can say. So we got the normal front runners as well. Up in front we got Hassel, who's making, I think, his second race in OBF1 today. Kenna, who's normally up there within a chance to win in. James Nate up there with a chance of winning. Invader's always there with some good points. Mank, who's higher up than normal, I think, this season. Let's have a look. 14th and 7th and a DNF in Australia. So Mank definitely higher up than the normal. Jay Seddon's quite low down considering his quality of driver. Snitsy as well, P11. As we are green flag racing, we do have Hassel controlling the pace. He has dropped the gauntlet. He is away with his foot flat to the floor. He gets a great restart. Kenna looked really well, he got caught sleeping really on that restart. Hassel did a great job there. We got Hawk by making a move on Invader as we come into turn 1. Great driving by the two not to make contact through there. There was quite a difficult move. There's a lot going on. Then we have Mohammed Guna, who is around inner wall. He is now. We got Team Invader and Mank involved at an incident as well. But as we come back to the front view, we have that massive train. All drivers trying to gain position, and Hassel looks set to possibly end this on pole for the race, which will come shortly after the sprint race. Do we have anybody trying to make a move yet? We do have 2 cars. Well, I thought he was looking to make a move. That Aston Martin looks very quick through the chicane. He must be running a pretty decent setup in terms of mechanical grip, because he looked pretty quick through that chicane. Hawkeye is still on the back of James Ney as we head into lap 4. No DRS due to the safety car. But Hassel has set the fastest lap. We got another yellow flag in sector 3. That is pistol racing. He is out of the sprint race. Not sure what happened. If we can ride on board with Mohammed. Well, his car's still moving, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But it said he DNF'd. Luckily, there's no safety car though. Mohammed Guna got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And, well, Mohammed's not having the best of sprint races tonight. Ahmed Shaban, though, looking to make a move on Snitsy. Is he going to be able to do it? Because he has got always grinding on the tail as well. So He's got to try and attack at the same time defend. It's going to be pretty difficult. And he was actually looking to try and make a move on the Williams driver. This car looks very loose on the exit now. So we've got Mohammed Guna going very slow in sector 1. Pistol Racing has left the session. Not sure why. It's still a race to go. But okay. Hassel with a great lead. He's built up his lead to... we just missed that overtake. Snitsy getting past King James. King James dropping down. King James is up there normally as well with the top few. Currently sitting in P7. He's going to hope for a better race than he is having right now. But we have got Always Grinding still on the back of Mohammed, trying to get that P8 position, that final sprint race point from him. Oh, Ahmed Shaban almost went into the back of King James. It was almost ended in a disaster for the both of them there. Luckily, they're both still on track, and there's no damage to both of the cars. We've got another yellow flag in Sector 2. There is an incident. I think someone's spun it at the chicane. Yeah, there's a Ferrari going slow. It's Hassel. Hassel's dropped out of the lead. Mohammed Goon is retired from the session in the pit lane, which is allowed. Hopefully his Ghost doesn't come back out on track. But Hassel really needs to pull his socks up now, really. He wants to get back into P1. Hawkpie. Hawkpie is going to be gassed that Hassel has made that mistake. But now he's got James Ney, who's a pretty quick driver, right behind, chasing. And he wants that position. So we got that yellow flag in Sector 1, so overtaking is not permitted. Looks like that McLaren is coming back out. Hopefully it parks in a sensible place that it doesn't cause a safety car, because that is not what we read right now. But we got Snitsy, who is slowly making his way up the field. He was starting further down than P5. He is currently now in P5, and he's trying to get on the back of Hassel. He wants to make as many positions as possible. Let me just enter sprint race. Right, there's that. So as I said, as it has been all season so far, the midfield is packed full of action. Don't really know where to look, which is a great thing, really. It's a great testament to what we're trying to do at OBF1, trying to get as good close racing as possible, and it looks like we got it. But I want to know why Pete has left. So if Pete, you're watching, can you let me know? That'd be great. As Hassel is making some moves. He's just got past Jason on the straight. Is Jason going to come back? He looked to make the move, but he doesn't. Jason now under attack from Snitsy. Snitsy gets really loose on that exit curb. It's not what he wants. A lot of ERS lights flashing, so a lot of people have used their battery. Hawkpie, only a couple of laps left to go, and he is still in P1. This could be a good sprint race for Hawkpie. You get maximum points on the sprint race, which I think is 8, if I'm not wrong. I'm not really sure on the sprint race stuff, but we have got Always Grinding on the back of Ahmed Shaban, who is currently on the back of King James. But this fight between these three has been going all sprint race, and it doesn't look like it's going to end soon, as Ahmed Shaban did look to try and make a move there coming into the chicane, but he thinks better of it. There's better places to make an overtake. There's a DRS straight coming up. He's going to want to use that battery. Speaking about his battery, he's still got quite a fair few quite a bit of percentage in it, whereas King James is lacking in that ERS. So is he going to be able to make the most of the ERS and his DRS as he gets into the slipstream of King James? Not a great view. Oh, there's a crash. He just took him out. What the hell was going on there? Ahmed Shaban has just completely wiped out King James. Oh, Kenna has just lost it, hitting the side pod of Jen Sereno. This is a disastrous end to the sprint race from a few drivers here. I don't really know what Ahmed Shaban was doing. Kenna looked like he went deep, just got onto the sausage curbs, and then obviously that's going to affect your braking. We haven't got a safety car, which is good. We can carry on racing, but these drivers want to be really careful if they want to make up some positions. Ahmed Shaban now with a 3-second time penalty for track limits infringements. That's a bit disappointing there for him. But, I mean, it could be worse. He did just take out a driver, so that is kind of deserved, technically. But Hawkpie now has a 1.2 second advantage, and it doesn't look like anyone is close enough on the straight. We got, we got Hassel, who has gone right back up from P2 after his little mistake that dropped him down to 4th. Hassel now chasing down Hawkpie. He's got 2 laps, this lap and the next. Will he be able to catch Hawkpie and pass before that checkered flag? He's got a second gap. I'm just trying to see if anything has come up in the Discord as well about that incident. It hasn't yet, which I'm quite surprised at, but you never know. Adrenaline's high. People are not gonna be happy about what's happened. I'm just waiting for it in the chat now. But luckily there's nothing yet. Everyone seems to be keeping calm. Marsh is just chilling down in P13. But Hassel is closing. He's right on the tail of that Alfa Romeo Hawkpie. 1 lap left. He will have DRS as we got a yellow flag. I think that's Kenna who spun in the double right-hander. Difficult corner there with the camber. But now we have Hassel with the DRS. He hasn't got much DRS. Has Hawkpie managed to save some? Not really. He's closing. He looks to make the move. He thinks better of it. And he can't make the move there, but he's still got the rest of the circuit to go. There's a few overtaking possibilities. Obviously we haven't got this corner. We've got the next corner. We've got the chicane. The double right-hander's not really one you'd want to try, but you've got the penultimate and the final corner as well. Hassel only with a 4/10 gap. Kenna has retired from the session. That's in the pit lane. And it's getting really close to the end of this sprint race. The first one that has been held since we've done an F2 league. And it is using F1 cars, not the F2 cars. But we got Hassel now. Is he going to try and make a move into the chicane? He doesn't. He sticks behind the Alfa Romeo. Is he happy enough with P2 considering the run down to turn 1 for the actual race? I know I'd be pretty happy with that run. Hawkpie though, defending quite aggressively. They are touching through the penultimate corner, and that's led Hawkpie to keep position onto the main straight, and he's going to cross the line for P1 for the main race. Hassel P2, James Ney P3, Snitsy P4, Jay Seddon P5, Ahmed Shaban in P6, always grinding P7. Genserino's going to come across the line in P8. Neil Mosler shortly follows in P9, Invida P10, Mank in P11, and Mosh will come home in P12. That is the top 12 for the main race. And obviously we have our non-finishers. We have Kenna P13, King James P14, Mohamed Guna P15. Pistol Racing, who has left the session. I don't know if he's going to be joining back. If he does, that's something. But that is your sprint race. Stay tuned. We will shortly have the main race coming right up. I'm going to take this time. There we go. There's Ahmed Shaban apologising to King James for the contact and taking him out. But I'm going to take this time to ask you to like and subscribe. Is there crossplay now? I think there's crossplay. Based on the fact that there's PSN symbols all the way down the field. I don't know what CGM's doing. But we will get under the way for the race shortly. P5 was... I better take a screenshot of that, haven't I? Screenshot. Right, so we got P5 was... Who was P5? J7? Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, and we've got a wet race as well. We do have a wet race. P11 was Mank. Just sorting out the sprint race quickly. Where is it? Mank Red Devil. P12 was Mosh.
What happened at the start?
Oh, the start was disastrous. There was a collision between Team Red and not really sure who else it was, but there was a collision between them. And we have got lights out, and away we go. It's a tricky start. Hassel, though, has got a great start. Hawkpie falling right down the order on the race start. And we have... How is there a safety car? We've got a safety car. For what? Oh, we haven't. CDM again. Not moving off the line. I don't know what CDM is doing. But that has caused the safety car. Not the safety car. You know what I mean? The yellow flags. Not sure what he was doing. I'm not sure what he's been doing. But... so we are away racing. I'm gonna quickly... I can do that if a safety car comes out, can't I? Right, let's get on to the racing. It's going to be difficult now to overtake in these conditions. I don't know what's going on with the audio. Let me just try and... So Pistol has joined back again. I'm just going to quickly change my audio settings because I keep hearing a crackling. Let me just... Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Onboard mix. Let's put broadcast on. It's still crackling, so I do apologize about the audio. It's not great. I was hoping it'd be better than this. But yeah, Jim, that race start was terrible at the sprint race. Snitsy looking to make a move on Hassel coming into turn 1. He thinks better of it. Obviously, as I said before, it's very difficult to make a move in these wet conditions. We do have Pistol Racing back on in the lobby now for the race. You know that voice crack. But we don't have much in terms of people looking to make a move. There's not much in terms of position changes either. We do have Amateur Band on the back of J7. It's interesting. So we're going to find out who's the best of the wet drivers at the minute. If we look at the race results, we got Hassel who's up 1 position. Snitzy's up 2. Hawkpie down 2. He had a terrible race start. Jason is up 1. Amateur Band's up 1. James Ney has lost 3. Invader is up 3. Jen Sereno is exactly where he started this race. King James up 5 positions. He's had a great race start from a disappointing sprint race. Neil Mosler's down 1. Mank exactly where he started this race. Pistol Racing up 4 after he didn't finish the... As I say that, Marsh overtakes him. He's up 3. Kenna down 1. Always grinding. Had a terrible start. He's lost 8 positions. As we see Pistol dropping even more. As we got Mosh coming in. No, that was Pete, sorry, coming into the pits. Team Red's up 1 as well. Mohammed is down 2. Pistol Racing retired from the session. I'm not sure what that was about, but he has retired from the session. As we've got Jen Sereno on the back of Invader, and we got Snitsy making a move on Hawkeye, or trying to, sorry, but Hawkeye just manages to keep that position. Obviously we got that yellow flag in Sector 1. We've got King James and Kenna, sorry, and always grinding, swapping positions further down the midfield. Or the bottom. So obviously not sure what happened there. I'm going to quickly ask Pete on his decision. I just want to find out. There we go. So we got a few drivers that are still in a train. We got a few drivers that have fallen back out of that train. We got Mank, who's a second behind. Mosh, who's 3 seconds behind Mank. We got Kenna, that's a second behind Mosh as well. Always grinding 2 seconds. Pistol is typing in the Discord, so I can't tell you why. I thought there was a car that had crashed there. Snitsy is going to go for it again on Hawkeye. Can he get there though? He's going for the outside at turn 1. It doesn't manage to make it. He's going to try and make a move somewhere else, I assume. Hassel though, he's had a great race start. He's gained the position back that he lost in the sprint race, and has currently got a 4-second gap to Hawkeye. So Pete's reasoning for retirement, I guess fair enough. If his controller's not working, he's thought about the quality of the race as well. His controller stopped working, he had a spare, but it's not a good standard, so better retire, is what Pete has said about his retirement in the pits. Good news, he still will do comms for the Tier 1 race, which will come up after this race, which is fantastic news. Hassel's lead is insane at the minute. It's nearly a 5-second gap. Pete, do you know if there was... I don't know if you're watching. I'm going to quickly ask... Any... Right, so we'll have a look. So far though, considering it's wet conditions, this race has been going pretty decently. I probably would have caused a safety car by now because I am terrible in the wet. But we got Snitsy, who is currently on the back of Hawkeye, and he does lose the rear end coming through turn 2. So obviously Snitsy's finding turns 1 and 2 for grip very difficult at the minute. We've still got a lot of laps to go though. I'm not sure if we're going to have any dry weather or even intermediate. But these drivers are managing these conditions pretty well. And as you can see, we've got that massive train. It'd be nice if we did have a bit of dry race, just so we could maybe see a bit more battling. Obviously these drivers being very cautious in the wet. Talking about battling, Ahmed Shaban has just lost out of excuse me. Ahmed Shaban has just lost a position to James Ney. So James and Mosh gets a 3-second time penalty. Invader as well getting past Ahmed Shaban. As Ahmed Shaban pushing too hard, is he struggling with the grip that he's receiving from these wet tyres? There's not much in terms of battling though. Obviously it's understandable considering the weather of the race. Obviously wet conditions is not the easiest to drive in, and that's without any things. But we got Neil Marza diving into the pits. Just want to see if that's a quick... Is that a wing change? Has he had an accident? It's not. He's going on to intermediate tyres. So Neil Marza opting for the inters. Is it time for the inters? Mank and Team Red both doing the same. So it looks like the rain is easing off. And with them intermediate tyres, there could be a more chance of racing. Mohammed Gouda still staying out though, staying on the wet tyres. I'm in the wrong view, I want this view. Thank you. James Nate on the back of Jason. Coming through the double right-hander. I was going to say Jason already out of ERS, but I forgot it's the ring light flashing, not the ERS light. Silly goose. But Hassel's lead has come down a bit. Hawkpie is gaining on Hassel again. Maybe Hassel just conserving and staying safe since he's got a nice enough gap. But James Ney getting closer and closer to the rear of that Haas spoiler. Is he going to be able to make a move, or are some of these drivers going to dive into the pit? Hassel in the pit. Hawkpie opts to stay out. Everyone else opting to stay out. Nobody's diving in the pits yet, apart from Hassel. What tyres is Hassel going to go on? Hassel as well opts to the intermediate tyres. So it is definitely easing off. It is time for the inters. Some of these drivers think there's a lot more in the pit now. But Hawkpie still with the lead, now has the lead of this race after losing the lead into the first corner. Hassel got off to a great start. But Snitsy as well, he's got a 1.8 second gap to close. And we got some moves going on in as well, always grinding into the pits. I'm assuming he's got on the wet tyres, so maybe it's not time for the intermediates. Always grinding for opting for wet. Everyone else has pitted has gone on to the inters, so I'm unsure what people want to go on. Neil Morza currently in the battle with Jen Sereno. As is a great view of the battle, all we can see was the side of the AlphaTauri. Invader as well, right up to the back of James Ney. Is he going to try and make a move into the penultimate corner? No. So we've got a battle for P3 at the minute. Obviously, Jason currently sitting in P3. We could see some dry weather, to be honest. This weather is even not easing off quite a bit, as we can see from the replay cameras, or the broadcast cameras. As Invader goes on the inside of Team Red, he's going to have less grip in the corner, and obviously he backs out there. He's going to think of a better place to try and overtake. It was a good attempt, though, and he will try it again soon. Ahmed Shaban really struggling in these conditions, so it could definitely be time for the inters now, as he is falling back. Always grinding, gives himself a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to affect his race massively. It's not what he wants at this point in time. I'm just going to quickly try and go back a bit into the stream. Right, that's the sprint race. Do apologise for a second. Right, what's that? That's still a sprint. Snitsy has set the fastest lap on the wet conditions, which is questioning the fact I said it could be time for the inters. Because now I'm not sure. It actually might not be time for the inters. Right, hold on 2 seconds. Three, 6. Oh, okay. It's 6 is amateur ban, that's why. Right, this battle is, the gap is forming now in this battle, so this battle could look like it's actually over now. And there was another one. 16. Apparently it's James Nay, it's not, it's Pistol Racing. I will be back. Give it just 2 seconds.
Haslett be catching Moss very quickly, have to check the gap from the leader to see which is quicker tire ATM.
2 seconds, 17. Was Team Red? Safe. Right. That's done. Oh, we're already running the race. Apparently. Right, that's great. Let's have a look what the comments have said. I missed that. Marcus has to catch him Mosh very quickly. Have to check the gap from the leader to see what the quicker tyre is at the minute. You know what, Marcus? It's a great idea. So Hassel currently 23 seconds from Hawk Pie. And we'll leave it on that for now. But James Nay is looking to make a move for part of the track. Are we on? We're coming into the chicane. James Nay with a great overtake into the chicane. Jason now left, wondering what happened. They're still both on wet, so that doesn't really give us an idea. Hassel still 23 seconds from the lead at 22 now. It looks like the Inters may be the best tyre at the minute. The gap is closing quite a bit. And obviously we've still got this battle. Even more cars have joined this battle now. It now goes back all the way to Invader. Mohammed Gouni gets himself a 3-second time penalty for
Hassel catching, but just.
I think it's just over. I think it's at the crossover point now where Inters are still fast, Wets are still fast, but Inters will be coming into their own very shortly. Well, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is a Mercedes that is around, and that's Invader. He's still in the race, luckily, though. What am I doing? Penalty situations. Invader, 3 seconds. Kenna with a 5-second time penalty.
Delta jumped a lot there. Yeah, Inters is faster, but can Hassel last to the end, or will he have to pit again?
That is a good question. He might be able to go to the end. He might be on intersect. So there's a lot of contact between the two, Kenna and Jen Serino.
Where Schnitzy and CO can put for Inters and make them last.
It's going to be interesting to see what works and what doesn't. I'm going to go back to the intervals now. But time penalties all down the field. They're big penalties as well. Only 2 of them currently only have 3 seconds. That's really going to affect their race later on. But more people are coming to the pits. Hawkeye now into the pits. We'll keep an eye on the battle behind. Obviously, Ahmed Shaban and Jason opted into pit now. Probably going to go on to the Inters. Hawkeye still... Yeah, they're all going on Inters now by the looks of it. Snitsy wants to try and create as much of a gap as possible. Based on the majority of the field being on Inters now,
Hassel gained 3 seconds to the leader the last lap. It's just a question of if they'll last.
You could be riding on Inter slicks, as we all know. It's going to be interesting to see whether the drivers can handle the crossover. Obviously, we've got a lot of people coming out of the pits now as well. Wild cars are coming through the straight. So we don't know the actual weather for later on in the race either. It could dry up in the last couple of laps, and it could be time for slicks. Which some of these drivers could be hoping for.
Forward to Imola said.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for you, Pete. Obviously, you said you had that controller issue.
Hassel just spun, I think.
Has he? Hassel's still currently in P3. I haven't noticed a spin from him. As we see Hawkeye running very wide.
There was a yellow and he dropped a lot of time.
He might have spun then. I might have missed that as I was reading the comments. I do apologise. We've got James Ney now pitting
yes,
as well.
He was 1.4 seconds behind, now he is 2.4.
Yeah, that's a spin then. As I was saying about Pete, though, that was very unfortunate for his controller to break. Very thoughtful of him, though, to wait, as we got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that's the slow-moving Haas. I believe that's Kenner. Not really sure what happened there, but we'll see. But James Ney now up to the pits. Snitsy with a 24-second gap, 23-second, and is closing. I think his best option, Snitsy, is to pit, because he's going to want to come off these wets if it is time for the inters, but he wants to do it before, like, he's got 30 seconds, right, for a pit in this race, due to the length of the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong there. And Hassel's closing, so he wants to pit this lap, otherwise he might lose out. And again, I do only apologise for the audio. It's a game issue still. If I could do anything about it, I would. Sadly, I can't. Any battles for position at the minute? We've got King James 6/10 currently behind Mank.
Schnitzy has pace for when he should pit to claim BK on MR-C-REES.
It's going to be interesting to see when Schnitzy does actually pit, because obviously Hassel is closing a lot. Not really sure what happened to CDM. He turned up for the race and disappeared.
Can Schnitzy hold out for dry tires? He has.
Schnitzy has now pitted. That gives Hassel and Hawkpie P1 and 2. Gap between Hawkpie and Hassel is still, well, it's about a second, but Hawkpie is doing very well in these wet conditions. He is closing, and he's closing quite quickly. I think Hassel is struggling in these conditions compared to Hawkpie. Obviously, Schnitzy's got a 7-second gap now. He came out in P3. On to the inters. Schnitzy's had great pace all race, so this could be the best strategy call of the race. It probably wouldn't have happened if he was in the Ferrari, because we all know what the
great pace by Kyle. Good luck, dude.
We all know what the Ferraris are like. Hassel running very wide in the double right-hander. That's give Hawkpie an advantage. They're going to go side by side coming through the chicane. Hawkpie takes P1. And it's a pretty easy move there from Hawkpie. He's just got to keep calm, keep his head cool, and try and defend now down this main straight. Does he have any ERS? He hasn't got much ERS. Hassel definitely has the advantage in ERS on the straight. It's just a question of drag.
I thought Hassel did a George Russell there. Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy.
Oh, I might have to turn text-to-speech off. It can't read emojis very well, can it? But Hawkpie still with the lead, and Hassel doesn't have it on the straight to make a move. Hawkpie's going to keep calm and collected. This battle for the lead is going to turn out to be very good. The Hassel loses it slightly on the exit, has to correct, and runs very wide onto the curb. That's going to slow him down a bit.
No, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes.
Going to be interesting to see, though. We got Mosh, who's still currently on the wet tyres. He is diving into the pits as he gets himself a 5-second time penalty for speeding as well. We got King James 5/10 behind Mank Red Devil in the Ferrari. Ferrari haven't had the blinder yet. They got a car in P2 and a car in P8. As King James got very loose on the exit there. That corner is difficult in the dry sometimes for traction. And we can see that there. Mosh now coming on to the intermediate tyres. I think he's pitted a bit late for that. He probably could make some time up, but I don't think it's going to be much. As King James gets himself a 3-second time penalty, multiple
looking
warnings.
Strong on newer tires. Emoji squinting face with tongue. Emoji left facing fist. Emoji okay hand. Emoji flexed biceps.
Hawkpie is looking very strong on these tyres. He is creating a gap. Invader as well with a time penalty. Obviously these drivers finding it very difficult to stay within the white lines. in these conditions. We got a massive train of cars now.
What's the penalty situation siren?
You want to know the penalty situation? This is currently your penalty situation. We've got Hassel in with 3 seconds. We got Snitsy with 3 seconds. King James 3 seconds. Kenna with 5 seconds. Invader with 6. That's 2 time penalty warnings. Not time. Track limit, sorry. Team Red with 3. Mohammed with 6. Mosh currently with 8 seconds of time penalties. That's really going to affect his finishing position. But obviously he's got always grinded behind, who's just chilling in 16th. Mosh could probably still pull the gap. How many stops have these drivers made? Let's have a look at that, shall we? Every driver has made 1 stop apart from Mosh and always grinding. Obviously we could tell that in the 2... I want the tyres back, thank you. Alright, let's go back to this train. Mank currently in the middle of it. He's got Genserino leading the train as Hawkpie now sets the fastest lap, and Mank gets himself another time penalty. Mank find it. Snitsy now goes on for the fastest lap. There's a bit of a gap between the guys as well. There's a new mention. It's not even the OBF1 Discord, so that doesn't concern us. But King James now looking to make a move possibly on the Ferrari driver coming into turn 1. I don't think he's close enough. He's not going to be making a move this time around. Mohammed as well getting himself another 3-second time penalty for the track limits. And the field is separating slowly as well in these conditions. But we got Ahmed Shaban on the back of Genserino. The Alfa Romeo driver has a good start to the season, but is he about to be overtaken by the Aston Martin driver of Ahmed Shaban, who is currently a reserve, but he's doing pretty well in the standings, I think. Oh, no, I think he's DNF'd in all the races, never mind. Savage moments with Kieran. Hashtag savagery. I'm never saying that again. Nobody clip that. Please. Thanks. Hassel has got himself another time penalty. I think that's 6 for Hassel now out in front. It is. That's really going to affect his finishing position. Hawkpie is another fastest lap. 1:26. Snitsy again. So the track is getting faster. The rain's still falling. Could we see slicks in the next couple of laps? It's not likely, but in Formula 1 you can never say never, really, can you? We're on lap 18 of 32. These 16 drivers have done very well to handle these conditions. We haven't seen a safety car since the sprint race, and it's just a matter of time now until we find out who our Imola Grand Prix winner is, as Ahmed Shaban gets a great exit. Oh, he got a good entry, sorry, but he lost a bit of time on the exit there. Mank really close to the back as well, only 3/10. Is he going to be able to pass Ahmed Shaban at any point? He does get a much better line through that corner. Coming into the double right-hander, he's looking much more confident in the turning ability of his car. He is right on the back now. Is he gonna make? He is looking to make a move into the chicane. He thinks better of it again though. Mank just struggling to get past Mank. Mank struggling to get past Mank. Mank struggling to get past Ahmed Shaban. As Ahmed Shaban looks to make a move on Genserino coming into the penultimate corner. It's a great move, gets it done before the corner, and now he's just got to negotiate the final corner and get a good exit to keep Genserino behind. But Genserino is still under pressure from the cars behind. He's got Mank, he's got King James, he's got Neil Moser behind. But it looks like he's going to be safe from an overtake as of this second. This is turning into a great battle in the midfield between Ahmed Shaban, Genserino, Mank and King James. It's going to be interesting to see if Neil Moser and Kenna can join the battle in the last couple of laps. But Mank all over the back of that Alfa Romeo. It's only a matter of time before he makes a move. Ahmed Shaban slowly pulling away from the two. as we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. There's a car around. Who is it? I can't tell. Where are we? We're ahead, so it's going to be one of these guys. Didn't see anybody lose any positions. So I'm not entirely sure. But Mank, again, looking very spicy. Looks to the inside going into the chicane. Is he going to be able to make a move? He doesn't. He backs out again. Mank getting very close to making a move on Genserino as Genserino picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think Mank just sussing out where he can make a move, where he's quicker on track. I thought Mank spun then, but he didn't. But Mank has really got King James now right behind. The two AlphaTauris, always grinding, has retired from the session. He is in the pits, I think. No, it's yeah, he's always grinding in the pits. He's retired from the session. But now, back to the action. King James was right behind Mank, and he's lost a bit of time. So I'm not sure what happened to King James, but he's got to be careful. His teammate has closed up on that battle. Kenna is just in the background as well, you can see. I don't know what all was grinding saying in the chat but there, because I'm in a separate chat obviously. But he is saying something on the mic. I'm not really sure what. But Mank is now slowly pulling away. And this battle that was a multiple car battle is now basically a 2-car battle. Kenna's still closing though. No, it's not a 2-car, it's 3-car, sorry. I can't do maths apparently. Nothing new, I'm Welsh. I do need a drink as well, it's really warm in this room. But we got King James looking really quick through these final couple of corners. Mank got a massive snap coming out of the corner. That's let King James come right up alongside him. He's going to look for the outside line for turn 2. He's got the inside for turn 1. And he's made the move. Oh, they're side by side into turn 1. Mank getting, going over the sausage curbs there. Mank losing it a bit. And King James soaring past the Ferrari out of turn 3. And now Mank's got to defend from his teammate Neil Morza. As Neil Morza's teammate now has the position on Mank. He could slow him down slightly just to help his teammate with positions. There's a load of penalties which will affect the final results of this race though. But this race very spicing up. If you are enjoying this race, please leave a like and subscribe. We're almost at our goal. I don't know if we've passed it during this live stream of 70 subscribers by August. So don't forget it's free and you get to see great racing like this. It looks like it stopped raining. No, it's still raining. I lied. It looked like it was. But fast slaps are going in again from the front guys, Hawkpie and then Snitsy. In terms of fastest lap, it's basically Snitsy saying, well, if you could do it, I could do it better. And he's just done another lap that has surpassed the fastest lap of Hawkpie. Snitsy is closing on Hassel as well by the looks of it. So, question is, can Snitsy get up into the final, onto the podium, and get past Hassel for P2 without, if we take away the penalties, that is. With the penalties, I think he's already got it. Let's just have a look at the penalty situation again. Yeah, he's already got it with the penalty situation, but can he get past him on track before the checkered flag? That is my question. And we will have an answer in 10 laps time. But this battle's still going on between King James, Mank and Neil. Kenna still hasn't joined it yet, but he is getting closer and closer to joining this battle. As we got Mohammed Guna diving into the pits. Not sure if he's just fitting a new set of tyres. He is. Mohammed Guna is going on the medium set of tyres. He set the slicks. Is it still raining? It's not. I think it's a bit early to go on the slicks, but Mohamed Guna has just surprised me, and he's put the medium tyres on. So as we keep an eye on this battle, I will put it to the leader. I want to see if Mohamed Guna is a lot faster when his tyres warm up. It's an interesting choice. So 10 laps to go. He's in P15. He's got nothing to lose. So if the track is ready for the slick tyres, it could be a great decision by him, as Mank defending well from Neil Moser. But is it only a matter of time before Neil Moser actually gets past? They pitted on the same lap, so their tyres are going to be around the same in terms of wear. Mank looking very loose on the curbs. He's got to try and avoid the curbs as much as possible. Mohamed Guna, I think he's catching, isn't he? I'm not sure. I'll check back. Oh, we got a yellow flag in sector 2. This slow-moving car. I think it was one of the Mercedes, or it might be the McLaren. That is the McLaren. The McLaren is now out of the race. Is that going to cause a safety car in the last couple of laps? It is going to cause a safety car. We have our first safety car in the race. Obviously, it's our second safety car tonight. We've got a few drivers pitting now. James Ney pitting for tyres. What tyres is he going to fit? Is he going to fit the slicks, or is he going back on a new set of intermediates? He's going on the soft tyres. So these drivers thinking it's time for the track is drying up pretty quickly as well. But there's still a lot of damp patches on the track as well. But it is drying compared to what it looked like a few laps ago. So far, James, the only one to set softs. But we have got a load of cars in the pit, so they're going to go for the same. Mank is on 0 lap old intermediates coming out, so he's gone for intermediates. He doesn't think it's going to dry enough. Ahmed Javan gone for the softs. James soft. Neil Moser softs. These drivers thinking it's going to be soft tyre conditions by the time that safety car goes in. It's going to be an interesting end to this race. If it does dry up, you want to stay tuned. But for now, Hawkeye retains his lead. He's got a hassle behind him, but we are under a safety car, so there is no overtaking. It's going to be interesting. I want to see if these the top two pit, or the top three, because Snitzy's right behind as well on the intermediate tyres. Hassel does pit. Snitzy doesn't. Hawkeye and Snitzy stay out on intermediate tyres. Where is the safety car? Is the safety car still waiting for the leader? Yeah, it's got to be, because Hawkeye's driving pretty quick. So there we are. The safety car does pick up the race leaders now, and it is the Aston Martin safety car, so I hope Marcus has got his tissues ready. Hassel on the softs. There's still a lot of spray being kicked up from these tyres, so I don't think it is ready for these tyres. And I don't know if it's simulated in game, but the track's not going to dry as quick while they're under safety car conditions, as not as much water is being cleared from them tyres. It's only a matter of time before we find out if these people going on the slicks have made the right choice. So if you guys are still tuned in and watching, don't forget to obviously subscribe. If you want to join the league, just go to our About section on our YouTube channel page, and then you can join the Discord through the link there. Let's just click that. So it's interesting. Hawkeye and Snitzy, neither of them opt into pit. They'd lose positions now if they did pit as well. So I'm interested to see if they've made the right choice in staying on the intermediate tyres, as we see the Mercedes coming out of the pits as well there. on soft tyres. I believe that's Team Red, who is just in front of the safety car as well. So he still hasn't been lapped, but it's not impossible. James Ney has gone back into the pits and fitted intermediate tyres, so it's definitely not time for the slick tyres. Oh, it's going to be an interesting race. Jim, Marcus, you still watching the stream? Get ready for this ending, because I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. All I know is there's a lot of time penalties and only a few laps remaining, and not everyone has caught up to this safety car, so it might be out for a while. So while it's out, I'm going to quickly grab a drink, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Right, there we go, I've had my drink. My throat is not as dry. Anything you said? Nothing's been said in the race day chat at the minute. It's been a pretty clean race from the drivers, as we got a few more drivers pitting now. We got J7 pitting on the softs. Is he going to go back on the intermediate tyres? Does he realise that he's made a bad choice in choosing these soft tyres? I can't tell. It looks like he's fitted intermediates. So it's definitely not time for the slick tyres. So it looks like Hawkeye and Snitsy have made a good choice in not pitting, but the drivers haven't caught up yet. So we got J7 and behind might lose out on some time here, because the safety car has got to go in a couple of laps. Mosh has left the session. Mosh has DNF'd on them soft tyres. The Ferrari of Hassel running very wide under safety car there. Hopefully he didn't get a warning for that. But will we see this safety car coming in this lap, or is it going to stay out for another lap? Stay tuned. Find out after the break. No, I'm joking, there's no break. The safety car is in this lap, so we will see if them soft tyres are the better choice, because the track still, to me, still looks a bit damp. So hopefully, yeah, Hassel looking very loose on them tyres there, trying to warm them up. Hawkeye leading and controlling the pace of the field. It's up to him when they start racing again, as long as he starts it before the safety car line. And I think he started it now as he puts his foot down. He does, and I think Snitsy read that very well, as he's still right behind. Remember, these two still on intermediate tyres. They've got Hassel right behind on the soft compounded tyres. Hassel managing it pretty well, but Hassel is getting overtaken now by King James, coming through the fast left right. I think Hassel has made a bad choice. The two Hasses are going at it in the background as well, one on intermediates and the other one on intermediates, I think, as well. Yeah, the split by Hassel. Hassel is falling back. The slick tyres was definitely not the choice of tyres. It is still intermediate conditions, and we can see that by the rain light still flashing on these cars. Hawkeye still got over like 90%, not 90, about 70%, maybe a bit less, and the light is flashing at the back of his car. So it's still intermediate conditions. Snitsy goes and picks up another time penalty. That's really going to affect his, so does Jason as well. That's really going to affect their race later on. But Snitsy right on the back of Hawkeye for the lead of this race. Snitsy needs to create a gap if he wants to win this race. Hawkpie has no time penalties, and Snitsy is currently on 6 seconds. So in the next couple of laps, Snitsy has to get 6 seconds on Hawkpie to win this race. Hawkpie looks like he could win this. James Ney sets the fastest lap with a 1:23. Snitsy goes around the inside and then the outside, and Hawkpie manages to hold on to the position. It was a great attempt there from Snitsy. It was great racing, very fair as well, not to take each other out. But yeah, these tyres. Look, Hassel's down to P6 now. We've got a yellow flag. We do have a spin, and that is Hassel who has spun around. Hassel having a blunder in the strategy call, trying to go for the softs. Invader not doing too bad on them. He's in P6 at the minute. But obviously, these Inters are still the best tyre for the current track conditions. It does look like it's getting drier and drier, so they might come into their own in a lap or two. But at the minute, Inters is still the best choice. And Snitsy is definitely hanging on to the diffuser of Hawkpie. As we come into the penultimate corner, they're almost touching. Almost, but not. So these drivers could start to struggle. We are in a crossover period, so them soft tyres will eventually come in. And we got DRS enabled, which is normally a sign that it is time for the slick tyres. These drivers have to watch now that these intermediates don't burn up. Because with the new update that came out to do with the tyre pressures, it is a lot harder to keep them in the correct working temperature window. And Snitsy looks like he's managing it very well. Obviously got a bit too close, had to back out because he was too close to Hawkpie on the exit. But we have got Kenner, King James, Jason, and Invader in the background. Invader on the soft tyres. Invader could have made a good choice. He's got 2 laps to make overtakes, and these drivers have to go to the end on the Inters. If they pit, they're going to lose time. Snitsy trying desperately to make a move on Hawkpie. Hawkpie standing in the middle of the road to defend his position into the chicane. They're going almost side by side, I thought, then through the chicane, but obviously Snitsy backed out. Obviously Hawkpie being ahead, and it's not really an overtaking spot. You don't want to be making a move through there. We got 2 laps remaining as we got another spin, and that's Invader that spun as well. Invader was looking promising for a good result. Hassel now the top dry tyre runner, and he's just got himself a 3-second time penalty. Is that 9 seconds Hassel is on now? Let's have a look. Details, penalties, 9 seconds Hassel. But he has set the fastest lap, so it is definitely time for the dry tyres. How is James going to be able to defend? The gap is currently from the leaders. I don't want the leaders. I don't want the fastest lap either. I want the intervals. Hassel will be looking to make a move on James, as he is on the better tyre for the current track conditions. But I don't think he's got enough in him to make the podium. He's too far back. I could be wrong. Obviously these intermediate tyres are going to be burning up under these conditions now. The temperature window for them has gone. As we have a spin as well. I think that's Invader again. It is. Lucky not to get beached in the gravel. We know that's possible in this game. Hassel though, Mank just getting past Invader there as he spun. Neil Moser getting past Team Red as well. Team Red's had a bit of a spin. I don't know if there was contact between the two there, but there was a bit of an issue. Hassel, even though he's on the better tyre, doesn't seem like he can get past James. Obviously these guys running very low on their battery. Snitsy with the fastest lap on Inters. It's still, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but Hassel goes flying past James Ney. Is he going to be able to make it past King James as well? He does. Into tier 1, James Ney looking to make a move on King James. And King James manages to hold off James Ney there, but it was a great bit of battling between the 3 cars. And that's per Hassel back up to P5. He's got a 1.6 to catch on someone that's using intermediate tyres. We are on the last lap as we got Mank, who sets the fastest lap with the 1:21. And he is currently in P9. As long as he can keep that position, he will get the fastest lap point as well. Obviously, you get it if you're in the top 10. We got the two cars, James Ney and King James, going side by side. And then King James still struggling to get past James Ney. Both running intermediate tyres. So they're going to be struggling. But Snitsy is currently on the final lap. Coming around the final two corners. Is he going to win with that time penalty? I don't think he is. But Snitsy does cross the line in P1. Like right now. So Snitsy is crossing the line in P1. But Hawkpie takes the win of the Imola Romagna Grand Prix for Alfa Romeo. Italian team wins at Imola. So it was a great race from Tier 2. Hopefully we can see the same again in about 15 minutes from Tier 1. So Hawkpie is P1, Snitsy P2, James P3, Jason P4, Kenna P5. It's a great result for Haas. Some good couple of points there for the Haas team. Amit Jaban P6, Hassel P7, King James P8, Mank P9, Neil Genserino P10, Neil Moser P11, Team Red P12, Invader P13. It's a poor show in there from Mercedes. Morshin P14, Mohammed P15, Always Grinding P16, Pistol Racing P17, obviously having controller issues, and CDM, well, was non-existent in that race, P18. I'm not really sure what happened to CDM, or why he didn't even move off the line, but that is it. We're just waiting for the final driver to cross the line now, which is Invader, who is crossing the line now, and that is it for your Tier 2. Don't forget to join us in about 10-15 minutes for the Tier 1 race that will be held by Personal Racing for the comms. Don't know if CDM is joining him or not, but you can see Tier 2 again in action next week when OBF1 heads to Miami. It's going to be an interesting race, that one. It's the first time these drivers have done a league race for OBF1 in Miami. And it's all about speed, that track. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. But don't forget, stay tuned for Tier 1. I will end the stream. Give me 2 minutes.